Elon Musk says he's launching a new political party following his very public spat with Donald Trump. He says the America Party is a challenge to the Republican and Democrat two-party system. Will it work? Could it work? Ted Zorn is Professor of Organisational Studies at Massey University and is with me at the desk. Ted, good morning.
Nice to be here.
Good to have you here. So, technically, could this work? Could this happen?
Forming a party is easy enough. The paperwork you have to file with the Federal Election Commission, that's easy enough to do. And that happens all the time. We had a new party that formed before the 2024 election. We've had many so-called third parties in the U.S. Lingo. Actually getting candidates on the ballot in 50 states and then getting someone elected is a completely different matter. That takes huge infrastructure and therefore huge resources. Of course, Elon has the resources, he has the wealth to do that. Whether he would get the support to do that is another question entirely.
Because when you say you need to have the name, because they don't vote obviously in America for a party, you always vote for an individual, right? So whether it's Trump or whether it's Kamala Harris, how do you get your name on all of the ballots?
Well, so first, if you get registered with the Federal Election Commission, you can then have the opportunity within the states to petition to get yourself on the ballot. And unfortunately, because the 50 states have a lot of autonomy, the requirements in each of the states are different. So you have to have the infrastructure to go into those states. Many times it means collecting signatures of citizens of that state and then filing by the deadline to get your candidate on the ballot.
So then you've got your states, you've got your name on the ballot, you're in all of them. What are the chances of you actually knocking one of these two, stalwarts, in a party sense, off their perch?
Yeah, well, 175 years now, we have had either a Democrat or Republican president. So the chances are minuscule for Elon to be successful in this. Having said that, we're at somewhat of an inflection point in U.S. politics, and there is Trump is running roughshod over the Constitution. There's a huge backlash. There are protests every weekend. Who knows? Anything could happen, but history would say it's pretty unlikely.
And whether that happens or not, he could potentially have quite an outsized influence on the policies of the next election or the next presidency, right? Because, you look at the UK at the moment where you've got Reform, which is a smaller party, outpolling by a country mile the two larger ones in the Conservatives and the Labour Party, who have been in power for, eons. Yeah. And you see the policy platform of the Labour Party start to shift towards, it pulls them in that direction.
Sure.
So could we see that sort of effect happening potentially with what Elon Musk is trying to do?
Yeah, and he could do that without forming a party, or he could do something like the Democratic Socialists do, which is not an election line party. It's a large association that people like Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are Democrats, or basically work with the Democrats. Bernie does, but he's an independent. But they support candidates who align with their positions. Of course, they have nothing like the resources that Elon has. So yes, he could support candidates who align with his positions once we figure out what those are, and have a huge influence in that regard.
If he's not successful, is that a good thing? It means that money can't buy you anything.
Well, his money hasn't helped him that much. His money helped him get Trump elected, but beyond that, it's hard to see that his money has helped him so far. He put, $20 million into trying to get a state Supreme Court judge elected in Wisconsin and failed miserably at that. So, yeah, money helps a lot. You cannot be successful in the U.S. system without a huge amount of money, which is the root of many of the problems, I would argue. But certainly you can't just buy the election.